Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 4, Chapter 20, The Foundling. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it every week, and I mostly stick to it. I'll get into what happened yesterday. Um, there's also all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. So yeah, there was some stormy stuff going on here in California. There still is. And if you got to look at even if you look at the radar, there's just like it looked like a gigantic cyclone. There was literally an eye over the city of San Francisco. But yeah, we lost power and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I was at work late yesterday and it was all kinds of fun. So that's the reason why that didn't happen yesterday. I'm probably going to move Shazam to Fury of the Gods. That is it worth my time to Friday, is what I'm thinking I'm doing. So look for it there. And I'm going to raise this microphone up just a tad because there we go. It's just hitting me in the weird spot there. So let's get to it, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you've not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Giving you enough time to pause, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah. All right. So we get to see what life is like out in the commune, the Mandalorian commune. And we see, Grogu kind of getting thrown into stuff and starting to having to earn his keep. And I did love how Din basically says to him, "Hey, you can show them what you do. You don't need to be uh, you don't need to be upset about it. You don't need to hide anything from them. Just do what you need to do." And he does a couple flips and then comes down and shoots Ragnar really fast with 3 darts and takes him down. You're only halfway through the episode, Pen? Oh, okay. Um, but we do get Ragnar, who happens to be Paz Vizsla's son. He gets taken by a gigantic chicken hawk, from what it looks like. And the Mandalorians, of course, give chase, but of course, their jetpacks run out of fuel before they can catch up to it. Except for bo-katan. Bo-katan actually thinks about what she needs to do, gets in her ship and follows that damn thing and tracks it, finds it, where its lair is and all that stuff, and is going to lead the assault on the chicken hawk there. In the meantime, while while you get the family going out on the family hunting trip there, Grogu is back with the armorer, and the armorer is kind of filling him in on what she does in her role. And as she is working the forge, it brings Grogu back some memories of how he escaped the basically the Jedi commune on Coruscant. And we get to meet another Jedi by the name of Kelleron Beck, who is played by Ahmad Best, who, if that name sounds familiar to you, he's the guy who voiced Jar Jar Binks. So, yeah, he gets to save Grogu, and we see him take down a shitload of clone troopers, and he's the one who got Grogu off planet. So we found out how that all happened there. So interesting little, filling in some of the gaps on Grogu's backstory there, which is nice. And he also gets a signet. He gets like a little chest signet from the armorer, who she says, "Oh, you'll grow into it." It's kind of like grandma. Grandma, gets him the big sweater and she goes, "Oh, you'll grow into it," kind of thing. So, that's what he's got to look forward to there. In the meantime, Bo-Katan is, learning the ways of the cult at this point too. They're sitting around the fire because, of course, they need to wait overnight before they make the climb because, of course, they don't want the chicken hawk to hear them. And she leans over to Din and goes, "How do you eat if you can't remove your helmet?" And he goes, "Well, you go off, you find another place, and that's when you remove your helmet where no one else is around. Then you can eat there." So you see all the Mandalorians, they get their food and they walk off in different directions. And as she's about to lead the fire, Paz is like, "Nope, you're leading the expedition. You get the honor of sitting by the fire." So right there, Paz was giving her shit when she, joined the clan. But he is actually kind of giving her some admiration for, of course, hunting down the lair of the chicken hawk there. Um, and she ends up they end up getting the kid back after a fight with the chicken hawk, and they also bring back three new foundlings, as they say, which are the chicken hawk babies. That's what the chicken hawk's been doing, has been grabbing kids basically to feed her babies. And pretty disgusting, actually. She coughs up Ragnar, and Din actually is the one who catches Ragnar as he falls and saves him, of course, from the crocodile turtle that eats the chicken hawk. Um, on also, Bo is talking to the armorer at one point, and excuse me, mentions about the mythosaur. Well, this is afterwards, after everything has been done. She's lost a couple pieces of armor, and the armorer says, "Hey, you know what? I can make you a new piece for that. It's not going to match. It's not going to have the same modern stuff that you have because of limited abilities with the forge she has." And she goes, "What do you want on it?" She goes, "Well, would you like another night owl?" And she goes, "Well, what about a mythosaur? Would that be okay?" And the armorer says, "Every Mandalorian has the right to the mythosaur." And she goes, "Well, what would you say if I told you I saw one?" And she goes, "That you are blessed," kind of thing. And she does kind of like, "Oh, that's nice, sweetie. You saw a unicorn. That's nice, sweetie." Is pretty much what the armorer is saying here. And she goes, "No, I saw it in the living waters." And the armorer still is kind of like, "Yeah, yeah, that's nice. That's okay." Really doesn't believe her. So again, it's going to fuck with bo-katan at this point of she's still questioning whether or not she actually saw the mythosaur or not. And does she trust herself? Does she tell Din at this point? Does she still just keep this to herself and slowly go kind of not crazy, but become more delving more into the clan's ways? I could see that happening as well. One of the things I did think about in this episode was you have the clan actually had to leave uh Grief Karga's planet, Navarro, right? Because they were outed, and now Navarro, of course, is flourishing. And I was thinking, well, Grief is actually having problems with pirates, right? Why not? Why doesn't Din make a deal with Grief that his clan can stay on Navarro, take out the pirates, if you will, in exchange for getting a place to stay and having a home. But that might all be moot because of Mandalore coming back and reclaiming Mandalore being able, you're able to breathe on there. It's not poisoned as they thought it was, all that kind of stuff. But this is a neat little, thing that went through my head at that time. I was thinking about that. Well, why don't they just go back to Navarro and they can take out the pirates? That might also be part of this. I mean, we have 9 episodes here this season, and we're on episode 4 at this point. So is that right? Am I right? Is it 9 episodes or is it 8 episodes? 8 episodes. I take that back. So we're halfway through, and we'll see where we go from there. So good episode, not great episode, but it was good. It filled in some gaps. It was only 33 minutes long, this episode. So, and again, like I said, it filled in the gaps. Excuse me. And gave us a little more Grogu's background. We get to see Grogu, becoming a foundling at this point. And then also Paz Vizsla now you know, and he's not doing this grudgingly. He's actually now accepted Bo-Katan and Din back into the clan, or into the clan, if you will, into the Death Watch, Night Watch, whatever they're calling themselves now. So the way, I don't know exactly what it is. So yeah. Raymond says, yeah, the pirate captain's costume looked too expensive not to use it again. You mean Swamp Thing? That's pretty much what it was, Raymond. He was Swamp Thing. I think what they did is they raided the Warner Brothers fire sale, and they were able to get the Swamp Thing costume for cheap, and they just kind of decorated it with a little more seaweed. Is what they did. So, but yes, it did look expensive. But yeah, we already know the pirate's coming back at some point. I mean, they gave him a name. They gave him a name, so obviously we're going to see that pirate again. And the Mandalorians are going to be involved and all this stuff. Yeah, so it's we know we're going back to Navarro at some point. Oh, and by the way, Carl Weathers was the one who actually directed this episode. It was functional. It wasn't like a standout episode or anything like that. But it wasn't bad either. It was a decent middle of the road kind of episode. It filled in the gaps of some stuff and move the story along like you're supposed to do. That's what we want, is we want to move the stuff along. This didn't world build anymore. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but at one point where um, Kelleron was driving the sky speeder, I guess you could say, with Grogu attached to it, and they're trying to get away from the clone troopers. They end up kind of skidding across the plaza that Dr. Pershing was at last week, where the tip of the mountain came out there. So we got to see the tip of the mountain again. So I did mention, yes, Raymond, yes, that Kelleron is played by Ahmad Best. And the other thing is, it's kind of funny. Ahmad Best is a there was a Disney themed game show for kids where they could become Jedi and whatnot. They answered trivia questions, and they did some weird battles or whatever. They had to go through some challenges or whatever. And I forget, I think it's Do You Want to Become a Jedi or something like that. I want to say it was on YouTube or something, but he was the host of it. So he's dressed as a Jedi and all of that. I remember I saw like the first episode and I was like, what the fuck's this? And I watched it and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So interesting that they're bringing him back. I mean, it's nice to see. He got vilified so much for playing Jar Jar Binks, and granted, the character sucks, but that doesn't mean the actor should be, um, vilified as well. I mean, now personal views of the actor, that's a different story. Don't get me into that, but that'll get you fired from Disney. Yeah. When you start bringing, all these weird, anyway, not going to delve into that one. So, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow is going to be the Bad Batch. Be doing that. Friday, I'm moving over that Is It Worth My Time? Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods. I'm going to put it there as well. I have already seen Dungeons and Dragons Honor of Thieves. There was a sneak preview, an Amazon sneak preview on Sunday, so I already saw it, but I'm going to save that for next week. I'll do that for next week. I'm going to go see John Wick this weekend as well. So Raymond says, so does Bo-Katan try not to mention the Mythosaur because no one will believe her, like the blacks? Pretty much. She doesn't believe herself either. Katie Sackhoff actually did an interview or, answered some questions. And she said exactly like I said last episode, when I was reviewing last episode, is that she isn't even sure if she saw what she thinks she saw. And she questions, was that real? Was it just something that she thinks she saw in the water? Because, she was in crisis mode trying to save Din Djarin. So, yeah. So she doesn't know if she actually saw what she thinks she saw. She's trying to talk herself into it. That's why she's kind of feeling it out with the blacksmith, the armorer. And the armorer is kind of like, that's nice, dear. Everyone sees a mythosaur, and you get a pony, and you get a pony, and you. So, yeah. She kind of she kind of grandma'd her is what she did, which sucks. And like I said, it's probably gonna lead to bo-katan going a little nutty. But we'll see where that goes. So so with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. Thank you everyone who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, please hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All righty. Thank you. I will see you again tomorrow for the Bad Batch. Power, hopefully the power stays on. We still have rain and wind and all kinds of stuff going on over here. Thanks everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Stay safe, be well, take care. Wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well. It doesn't work without the boosters, and stay safe out there, everyone. Thanks. Have a good rest of your night. And oh, you know what? I almost forgot to say, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may get hit by 3 darts by a little fucking green bastard who's jumping all around, and you know how that goes. Thanks everyone. Have a good rest of your night, and take care. Thanks everyone. Good night.